A very good morning to all of you. 8th D, welcome to the physics class. Hope you all are fine. Chilly morning. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in this chilly morning, winter morning, let's start with our studies. Okay. Okay. So, yes. Satakshi,
Yes, ma'am.
good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, Satakshi. Yes, Satakshi. What were we doing? Which chapter were we talking about in the last class?
Star, ma'am, stars and solar system.
Okay, stars and solar system. Fine, thank you. Put your speaker off, child. Sanvi. Sanvi, I'm waiting for you to speak.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what all did we do in that? What topics did we cover in that chapter? Anyone? Quickly, you have to proceed. Come on. We cannot waste time like that. Yes, what all we have done in the chapter? Yes?
Ma'am, we have done universe, distance, and light year, stars, galaxies. Ma'am, in galaxies, we have done Milky Way.
Yes, very good. We have talked about Milky Way, and in Hindi, our galaxy, which is Milky Way, in Hindi it is called. Wait. Yashashvi Singh, what is our galaxy called in Hindi?
I'm Akash Ganga.
Akash Ganga. Very good. It was just to check that in this chilly winter morning, are you only physically present here or mentally also? So it is good. You all are mentally present. I'm happy. So let's continue with our studies, children. We talked about the Milky Way galaxy. I told you that so many number of stars are present, which forms a galaxy. Yes, and sun, since it's near to us, that is why it is also being a star, it appears to us larger than the other stars. Fine, we talked about it. We talked about the Akash Ganga, that is the Hindi name of Milky Way galaxy. And today we are going to begin with a new topic, and that is constellation. I hope you have heard about the term constellation previously also.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, a
Yes, ma'am.
constellation is yes, a constellation is a shape which is formed from the, you can say, from the stars. The stars, they are present in such a design that they resemble an animal or a human shape, and to them we refer to as constellation. So it's not always compulsory to learn the definition from the book itself, but you can always frame it from your side. So a group of star which resemble an animal or a human shape, that is what we refer to as
Constellation.
constellation. And in your junior classes, in your lower classes, you must have heard about some of the constellations. You must have heard about the names of some constellation. Now today's class, in today's class we are going to discuss about those constellations. How do they look like and how they are formed? How many numbers of stars are there that form these constellation? Fine. So as I said, these group usually resemble some pattern or shape of human or animal form. So it can be asked in very short question, in 1 mark question, that what is meant by constellation. So what you can do is you can underline that the first line, these group. So you write the group. The group usually remember some patterns or shape of human or animal form. These are called constellation. So the first one that we are going to talk about is Ursa Major. Now Ursa Major, children, major and minor, and just below that you will see minor. Fine. Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. Now Ursa Major is a constellation that resembles a spoon shape. It resembles a spoon shape, as you can see in the diagram on page number 207 itself. Here just see Ursa Major. It is also called Big Bear. Yes. So you have here, you have 7 stars. The number of stars is 7, and they are so arranged as if it resembles a shape of the spoon. So you can just see there are 7 prominent stars. 7. Okay, and now can anyone tell me 7 in Hindi, when we talk about the Tithi, 7th, what do we call it as?
Sub, ma'am, sub.
Ma'am, Saptarshi Mandal.
Saptarishi Mandal. This is the correct. I'm asking, what is it called? And you have started Saptarishi Mandal. Everyone is so educated. I'm asking, what do you refer that Tithi as in Hindi? If it is 7.
Ma'am, Saptarshi.
Saptami, isn't it? Saptami. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
This sub refers to 7. And since you have 7 stars here, please speakers are. Yes. So when this 7, if 7 is there and Saptami, the Saptami refers to 7 and you can see 7 stars. Just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 stars you can see. And that is why it is in Hindi also called as Sapt Rishi Mandal. Yes, so the name comes from Hindi, Tithi, that is Sapt and then Rishi Mandal. Okay, so just underline Sapt Rishi Mandal in Hindi, children, please. The last line. And the other name for it is, as I said, please underline that also, Big Dipper, Big Bear or Great Bear. So it is also called Big Bear, Big Dipper and
Great bear.
and
Great bear.
yes, Great Bear. And what is the number? Okay, and in Hindi it is called
Saptarishi Mandal.
Saptarshi Mandal.
Mandal. Saptarishi Mandal. So these are again, as I told you previously also, that these are small little questions which can be asked from the chapter. Again, I repeat from this, like it's rare if you get a long question, we'll be doing of course, but generally you find very short objective questions from this chapter. So you need to learn the points that are told one by one. Now, so Big Bear, Big Dipper, Great Bear, and in Hindi it is called Saptarishi Mandal. Now, if we talk about the diagram, have a look in the diagram, children. On the same page, you can see it looks like a spoon, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. So what you can see like these resemble stars, these dots. Yes. If you join these dots, see while you're joining, this shape is clear. So and this way, like 4 stars you see here, and then you see 3 stars like this. They are arranged like this. So it resembles a spoon, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Now next comes that when now just see in the diagram itself these are joined. The dots resemble the stars, and the lines are the imaginary lines. You will not be able to see the same way in the sky. These are imaginary lines which are drawn so as to make you clear that yes, it looks like this type of figure. Next, important thing about this is please take your pencil and underline that it is visible during the summer night. Early night, summer, just underline during summer in the northern part of the sky. Fine? Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now,
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
this was important, all important. Now, see, when there are so many things to learn, the easy way to learn is to talk about it again and again. Again and again, if you keep talking about it, it is easy. Since here we have underlined some of the point, and if you keep talking to each other the same way, that or you keep asking questions to yourself, how many stars were there? What is it called in Hindi? What are the other names? When it is visible? When it is visible? Which time?
Ma'am, during summer in the northern
Ma'am,
part.
yes, yes, and let me tell you one more thing very clearly that this is what we are discussing, which is given in the book. But if you practically want to see it in the summer night, early summer night, you go and you see, you will be very. How many of you have actually seen it in the sky? Truth. Tell me the truth. How many of you have actually seen it? Anyone?
Ma'am, I have.
Good. Who's it? Please tell your name.
Ma'am, Rudraksh.
Okay, good, Rudransh. So, you all can see right now. You'll not be, but in summers you will be able to see it. It's very easy to observe it. Fine. Now, next is Ursa minor. So the second one is Ursa minor. Fine. Now, Ursa minor, now this is again a group of 7-star which resemble little bear. Now here you have, see actually children, you will say that how does it resemble a bear when ma'am is saying it's resemble a spoon. Sometimes what happens when we take some more stars which are lighter, like these are prominent stars. And these prominent stars together form this shape. But when sometimes, like see, it's not like the sky is distinctly filled with these many stars. It's not like that. Stars are scattered all over. So when some of the other stars which are here and there nearby, they are also taken, they resemble a bear. So you have, it's also a group of 7 stars resembling the shape of a little bear. So here you have little bear, the contrast of what we have done right now. And when it is little, for little, what do you call? What do you call it in Hindi?
Ma'am, Laghu.
Ma'am, Laghu.
And what is the opposite of Laghu in English?
Laghu Saptarishi
In
Mandal.
Hindi? What is the opposite of Laghu in Hindi?
Ma'am, Dirg.
Ma'am,
Kya
Dirg.
baat hai? Very nice. Dirghayu bhav. Huh? Nobody says Laghu Ayu bhav. Okay, yes. So Laghu. Laghu is the word, correct word. So the same way you can relate, it is called Laghu Saptarishi Mandal. 7 again and a Laghu for small. Fine. So here you have two important things, that is it is called, please underline, Laghu Saptarishi Mandal again consists of 7 stars and it is called little bear. Fine, children?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The last thing about this is the last star of this constellation. Just have a look at the diagram. The minor one. There are two, both are given together. Just look at the minor one. Here you can see the last, the tail you can see. Here it is the North Pole star or the Polaris. Fine. So that's last star of this is actually the North Star, which is called dash in Hindi. Come on, tell me.
Ma'am, Dhruv Tara.
Ma'am, Dhruv Tara.
Dhruv Tara.
He is so intelligent. Very good. Yes, it is called
Ma'am,
Dhruv
Dhruv
Tara.
Tara.
Yes, Dhruv Tara. Very good. Fine. So, any problem in Ursa major and Ursa minor, children?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now we move on to the pole star. Pole star, which is also called Dhruv Tara, which is also called Polaris. Fine. So please underline the first important thing, that it is called Polaris. It is also called Dhruv Tara. Please underline that. Now, as we have talked about Ursa Major and we have talked about Ursa Minor and we have also talked about Dhruv Tara. Now children, if anyone wants to observe Dhruv Tara or the North Star, or to make it clear that yes, to make sure that yes, this is North Star, people generally first look for Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. Once they are able to locate this constellation, Ursa Minor, the last star, as we just discussed, the last star of it, make sure that yes, this is the last star and this is the
Pole star. Ma'am, pole.
yes, this is the pole star or it is the Dhruv Tara. Fine. So to find that in the sky, first what is located? It is Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. Now we talk about something important. Let's just see. To a viewer on the earth, all stars in the night sky seem to drift from east to west. This is because the earth rotates from where to where?
Ma'am, west to east.
Ma'am, west to east.
Yes. So the pole star is the only star in the northern hemisphere that appears to be stationary. Important question. It appears to be stationary. It never shows the movement. Fine. Now why it is? Because important, It is because it is situated close to the direction of the axis. Now see, if something is, now see, something like whatever we see, since we are on earth, whatever we see moving east to west or west to east, whatever, it is because of the rotation of the earth. We can say our perception is such. But when something is very close to the rotation axis, then of course it is going to, because with its respect it's not moving, so it is going to appear to us as stationary. So the reason behind this is, please underline, this is because it is situated close to the direction of the axis of rotation of the earth. Fine, children? Now, next is the activity, and this activity is going to tell us that how we can locate the pole star in the night sky. Now, like supposing we are unaware of anything, we don't know, no one has told us, and we want to locate the pole star. And let me tell you, sometimes like when you are aware of it, when you know the things well, then it is easy. But when you are not aware of the things, then actually children, it becomes difficult many of the times. Like we have seen it so many times, but still it becomes difficult. Sometimes it becomes difficult, or you can say it becomes confusing to locate it. So in that case, how a person can locate the pole star, for that we are going to do an activity. I mean, we are not going to do, we are going to read about it. You can do it at your home later. Fine. So to locate the pole star in the sky, we need, of course, what do we need? To see, what do we need?
Ma'am, eyes.
Eyes,
Ma'am,
yes. So why it is mentioned? Because we do not need any aid. Our naked eyes, or the people who use the spectacles, with the spectacles, the eyes require. And what you will do, first of all, okay, now just tell me when this activity should be conducted. Today?
Ma'am, clear summer night.
Clear.
Ma'am,
Yes.
clear summer
Clear
night.
because, yes. Clear because you are able to see clearly the stars, and summer because we know that yes, it is easily seen in the summer night. Fine. Now, the ideal time is 9 p.m. Now, look at the northern sky and identify the Ursa Major. So first you're going to see this Saptarishi Mandal. You're going to find that Saptarishi Mandal, first thing. Then what you will do, focus on the two stars at the end of the Ursa Major, the end two stars. Now just see from where it begins. Look into the diagram so that it is easy. As I just told you, these two stars, these stars, fine. And why four diagrams are given? It's not that four are there, it's just, it's showing the position, that in whatever position it is, you are able to identify, you are able to locate the pole star. Now just see. In the diagram, just please keep looking. The two stars in the spring position, then winter position, then autumn position, and summer position. So in all the four seasons, you can say, how to trace the pole star. You are going to draw. I mean, it's not, you're not going to draw, of course. You cannot draw in the sky. You are going to imagine a line, straight line, which is passing through this straight line, and this is the line that you are going to imagine, the length of the line that you are going to imagine is about 5 times of the distance between these two, which you will be able to actually see in the sky. So you're going to imagine 5 times far distance than what you see in this, and like you imagine a straight line passing, and when it is 5 times, you will be able to observe a star, and that is the pole star. Fine, children? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
Yes,
Yes?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So imagine a straight line passing through these stars that we have talked about. Extend this imaginary line in the northern direction. This line could meet a star at approximately 5 times the distance that is between the last two stars that we have talked about, and this is the pole star. Any problem?
no,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No,
Is it
ma'am.
clear? So if the activity is given, supposing this can be asked in the long question. So if supposing this is asked, what you are going to do? You will tell that yes, this is required, as we know that for activity we have to write the aim, then the material required, and then when we talk about how it is done, what you will write, that first 4 positions we are going to make, and then you will say the last 2 stars in the constellation. From there, we are going to imagine a straight line towards the north. And this line, when this line we extend towards the north, we will come to a point where we find a star. And this star is the pole star. The distance, how we are going to calculate the distance? Again, it is only the calculation. It's not the actual, like you cannot do it practically. It is about the 5 times of the distance that is there between those last two stars. So this is how we locate the pole star. So this is how, children, we have come to the end of today's class. Whatever we have done, please revise it properly. Again, I repeat, you'll be getting so many questions from this chapter which are objective. That is one word. Okay. So till we meet again, take care of yourselves, children. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.